Hey, big head.
Then I had taken to trial.
So now you have to relive, that whole ordeal.
You have to tell the story over and over and over and over again. And oddly enough, I was conflicted about taking it forward because I knew that I was about to put this Black man into the system.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that there was going to be a jury of 12 white people and that I was going to win. But in winning, I was going to have to participate in a system that's already stacked against us. And so I'm doing that in my head at the same time. There's a lot. And then there was a moment of pure absurdity. The sentencing day, no, not the verdict. The day that the verdict came down, he came to court with his attorney. Now remember, this is 1975.
Mm-hmm.
What were the fashions in 75?
The fashions?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It all kind of jumbles to me. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I do know. I believe big collars were in back then, correct? The big flaps,
Yep.
and the chest out type ordeal was popular.
And what do we know about the shoes in 1975?
I believe they were the oh my God, what are they called? It's the heel ones, right? The
platforms.
There we go, platforms. Yes.
He came to court with a white fur hat, a white cane, a white fur coat, and white platform shoes.
So he just thought he was going home after this, huh?
I do remember when they said guilty, he did try and jump over his chair to get to me. And it took 2 bailiffs to get him. And my mother said he wouldn't have made it because I had a gun in my purse.
This is before they had metal detectors, I'm assuming, in the in the courtrooms. Yep. Okay, I got you.
She had her trusty 22 in her purse.
That's going to take a couple of shots to harm him. A 22. It's going to take a couple of them.
It takes. Well, I bore witness to my mother shooting somebody, so yeah, I know it takes a lot of 22 bullets. But afterwards, his attorney came up to me and apologized and said, "I hope you're all right. Please be careful." Now, the reason that I didn't finish from San Jose State is because I was so traumatized that I didn't want to go home, and they wanted to catch him, and they knew that he was going to still try and call me. They had actually wiretapped the phone in my dorm room, and I'm just trying to hang on. I couldn't bring myself to go to class. And San Jose State wouldn't let me drop. They said, you have a choice. You can do the trial thing, or you can do the class thing, but you can't do both. And I knew that if I didn't do the trial thing, somebody else might not be as lucky.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up dropping out of San Jose State.
And that's the move to DC?
That's the move to DC.
First of all, I want to say I've known you for, what would you say, about 10 years or so now? And I have never heard that story.
Oh, wow.
And I've already respected you to the highest degree, and I do even more now if that's possible. So my heart goes out to you. Unfortunately, that happens, and that's the world we live in, that there's always predators around. But to hear your story, your testimony, and to see how far you've come now, it's beautiful to hear, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So you're in Washington, D.C. I'm assuming, was this around the late 70s, early 80s, somewhere around there?
Late 70s, yes.
Late 70s, okay. And so my seasoned viewers at home are going to be mad if I don't ask you this question. But while living in D.C. around this time,
Yes.
Did you engulf yourself in the go-go music movement? I have to ask. Is that something that you just went full-fledged in, or
How
being
did
from
you
California?
Oh no, I saw EU Freeze live. I saw it. Yeah, no, that was the rhythm. You have to remember, coming from California, we think that Washington, D.C. is back east.
Yes.
It's not.
Right.
Washington, D.C. is tucked in the middle of Maryland and Virginia.
Right.
It's the South.
South. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, it's the South with an F. Because you know how Black people in California tend to come from Texas and Louisiana?
Mm-hmm.
Black people in DC tend to come from what we call the Kakalakis, North Carolina, South
Carolina. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's that deep. It's that deep.
It's that deep. But it was an amazing culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
Because to come from the diversity, translate white people,
mm-hmm.
and go to DC, which in the late 70s and 80s literally was Chocolate City.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Issa Rae says, I'm rooting for everybody Black?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody Black is in DC. So from the gas station attendants to the politicians, to the preachers, to the students, to the teachers, to the bus drivers, to the taxi cab drivers, everybody was Black and thoughtful and engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the time that the movement was to divest from South Africa and to be fighting and marching for the passage of the King holiday. And yeah, and go-go was everywhere.
You couldn't miss it. You couldn't miss it.
Could not miss it. They played gigs every damn weekend.
Was it Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers? Is that what it was?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.